video training module on how you can manage your consulting work schedule more efficiently. What we're going to do is not tell you how to live, not tell you how to balance work and play or work and free time. We're not going to tell you how to be less stressed out in life. What we are going to do is talk about how in consulting, lots of people end up working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, plus they might travel 10 or 15 or 20 hours a week. So if it's not happened to you right now in consulting, it very well could in the future. And most people I talk to, whether they're working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, etc., aren't really happy with their consulting business work balance with their personal life. You might be, and that's great, but what I'm going to do is present here 3 different working models of how to view work-life balance, and you can kind of see where you're at and just see these other different perspectives. Maybe think about it a bit and think what's ideal for you so you're most productive and fulfilled and happy with your business consulting career. So the first one here is Tim Ferriss. He wrote a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. It's about how you can run a business and kind of reject the mentality of working 40 hours a week for 40 years in a cubicle, and then one day you'll retire and go to that paradise island, live in the sun, and enjoy that life you really love, play golf, be around your friends, etc. His idea is reject all of that, forget that, it doesn't work, we don't want to work our whole lives and then enjoy our life, we want to enjoy it now and almost live as if we're retired now and work, in his example, 4 hours a week, maybe more realistically 2 or 4 hours a day, and have a really balanced lifestyle where we work from other countries, where we work remotely over the internet, where we have 5-day weekends every week, where we have 3-day weekends most weeks, where we take vacation when we want to for a month at a time, and our systems are so automated we can have other people for $15 or $20 an hour running them for us. There's many ideas in his book about the 4-hour work week that really stress not living to work, but working to live and working just enough to live. And you could still make $100,000 a year or more, maybe $1 million a year if your business is really successful and then you automate it. But it's challenging for some people to accept this because they work so hard just to make their $40,000 a year or $20,000 a year or $100,000 a year now. How could you possibly do that? And the truth is he has some great ideas in his book, but the other truth is it's a bit unrealistic for most of us, especially if you don't already own your own business. But he's got some great creative ideas in there. So that's one perspective. The next perspective is by Frank Kern. Frank Kern is a consultant within small business development and marketing. And basically his idea was that he always wanted to have $1 million in the bank so he could have a mansion, a Ferrari, not worry about a thing, and have 0 debt, and have $1 million cash in the bank. Well, it turns out he got there. He did it. And he bought a mansion, he was driving around Virginia in his Ferrari, and he was completely miserable. He had this one tangible, finite goal, he reached it, and he felt like his life was completely empty. People were looking at him like a jerk, driving his Ferrari around town, he felt like a jerk. Was constantly obsessed over what bigger mansion to buy next, etc. And he just started to reject the whole idea of the life he was living. So he sold some of his assets, moved to San Diego, started living on the beach, and redesigned his whole life so that he was living every day his ideal life instead of waiting to live his ideal life sometime in the future. So in other words, he was instead rejecting the idea that you have to, live your life for 40 years and then retire and live your ideal life, and not so much focusing on the fact that you don't have to work at all, but just saying, okay, in the morning, every morning I want to be on the beach surfing. Every morning I want fresh fruit for breakfast. Every morning I want to be able to start working by 6 a.m. and I'll be done by 9 a.m. Every afternoon I want to have lunch with my friends and talk about fun business ideas and what I'm doing to improve my business, etc. So he planned out his day, and now he's trying to live that ideal day every day. So that's a different perspective. The third perspective is by somebody within a mastermind group I participate in, and when we were talking about these 2 perspectives, he came up with a third one. Not that it was completely original, but a third perspective that's worth mentioning here. And he said for him, the opposite of working on something productive is being non-productive or empty or having nothing to do. And for him, that would be very depressing. So working a lot is actually the opposite of depression for him. It's fulfillment, it's excitement, it's fun challenge, it's energy. So for him, not working a lot would be depression. So this is kind of the fulfillment perspective, that if you work on the right areas, it can be very fulfilling, very rewarding, and you can do very well. So I want you to, as an exercise, kind of take a step back and think to yourself, where are you right now? What work-life balance and consulting are you really living? Are you closer to the Tim Ferriss work-life balance, or is it a Frank Kern ideology of designing your ideal day? Or is it kind of the fulfillment work where you say, well, you know what, I work 40 hours a week, but I really like my job. 80, 90% plus of it is very enjoyable and challenging and exciting, and I'm going to keep doing that. Which one do you most relate to right now? Write that down. And now the second part of the exercise, where would you like to be? What should you redo? Which of these perspectives gives you a little perspective on what you could improve on in your life, in your consulting business, how you should change what services you offer, how many hours you work per week, what you outsource or automate or hire an intern to do, and just see if this helps you evolve your thinking and how you work as a consultant. I hope you found these different perspectives really valuable. They've really changed how I see my own career and how I run my business, and I hope they provide that same value to you. Thank you. This is businesstraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to help you make more money.